Alright, today I'm going to be teaching you how to make custom warfare units. That way if you want to use something like the ACR or just a modded team or what the hell ever, whatever you want to use, you'll be able to do that after this video if I don't fuck anything up again. So the first thing you want to do is go to this website. I'll have it in the description. You're going to want to download, I think it's this one. But honestly, usually I just download them all. There's a whole bunch of useful information, all these things. Okay, then once you have it downloaded, you're going to want to go to your downloads. It's here. I use WinRAR. Open it with WinRAR, copy it. Of course, like I said, I have everything already set up, so I don't need to go to somewhere you can put it. In this case, I put it in my documents, select new folder. Okay, and then put it in here. Next up, what you're going to want to do is download Arma 3 tools. It should take that long. Once you get download, you're going to hit launch, play, bank rev, and then add source directory. Go to where you downloaded it, which is my case here. Click on it. You don't actually need to open it. Just click on it, hit OK, and then give it a sec, and then you would hit process files. Again, I've already done this, so I don't have to do it. And that'll unpack all the PBOs, so that way you can copy and paste things out of them. So then the next thing you want to do is actually go ahead and go into your Arma 2 Operation Arrowhead. If you're on a fresh install, make sure you run Arma 2 and then you run Operation Arrowhead afterwards. I don't know if you still need to do that, but I remember when I used to play a whole bunch of modded DayZ way back in the day, you had to do that or else you're going to get some weird issues. Oops. Up here, hit new editor. I'm using the ACR. Of course, you could use whoever you want. So I'm hit ACR, get men, woodland. I'll use just standard rifleman. And then op4. For simplicity's sake, I'm using the insurgents. You'll see why later. Make sure you set them to kernel, both of them. And then with this guy, set him to playable, not player, playable. All right, we're gonna copy paste a couple of them. I think 8 will do. I think of modules. From my understanding, the only difference between the warfare module and the Operation Arrowhead warfare module is the map. You want to use warfare for Chernarus and Operation Arrowhead for Takistan. Because I think it'll spawn like tan units and woodland units. I think you could use it and it'll be fine, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, hit F5. I synchronize the player first, and then the first guy, playable guy, and then just do that. All right, that's just the base. Hit save. Name it something really mature. Oh, and then go back to units. We're going to need to go, and this is for the vehicles we want to add. So we're going to woodland, armored, Mandingo. We'll use, yeah, why not? Why not? Fuck it, why not? Preview will save it, so you don't worry about that. All right, now go to document, Arma 2, multiplayer. You'll see the mission you just made. Now, this is where you want to go back into where you installed the PBOs, whatever they're called. Find the BAF, hit the CA, mission 2, MP scenario. If you're doing Takistan, you're going to use the Takistan one. If you're using Chernurus, you'll use the Chernurus one. Copy and paste everything but the mission.sqf. Paste it into there. Cool. Now comes kind of the tedious part. First thing you're going to do is you're going to put up faction. Replace the BAF guy with your ACR. File, save. Okay, then go to your barracks. And same thing. Place this guy with that. And then go scroll down. You'll see like W soldier, W medic. Again, for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to replace them all with this one guy. And the reason I used insurgents is because if you want to use like the ACR in the Russians, you'll have to go through and do everything I'm doing for the west side, but on the east. File, save. All right. Now we're going to go to Light Factory. Go down to our Dingo. Copy. Paste. And where this is how many men. So for the Dingo, it's 2. File, save. I always have issues with the heavy factory. I don't know what the hell it is, no matter what I do. Oh yeah. While you're in the light factory, go scroll all the way down. Where it says BAF ATV, replace that with the Dingo. Anyways, I always have issues with the heavy factory. I don't know what the hell you got to do, but I never can get it to work correctly for the west side. So what I do instead is I create a new text file. Make sure you replace the dot text. commonconstants.sqf. Say that, you know, might be unreadable. It'll be fine. All right, and then since I got that, I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And the reason I have it set as East Barracks and all that is to show you how to actually change it. So it says East here, we want it to be West. It says Barracks, we want it to be Heavy. And then for the vehicle, we want the BMP2 ACR. Oh, yeah, well, in this case, Pandora, or however the hell you pronounce that. Okay, I think this is the cost. This is the time it takes for the unit to spawn in. And then this is the manpower. Change it to File, Save. All right. Now, on to teams. We're going to go teams, back to barracks so I can grab this guy. Copy, and I'm sorry being vague in what I'm doing, but to be honest with you, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. There's really no, like, how-tos or whatever on the internet available, and every time I ask somebody, they would only give me, like, very vague instructions, so this is just how I've kind of learned how to do it, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing, basically. But again, for simplicity, I'm just going to be copying and pasting everything. Alright, and then once we get to the vehicles, we're going to want to grab the Dingo, copy, place it. Now, if you want to have both heavy and light in one unit, or whatever the hell, one team, say I wanted this was a BMP or the Pandora, I would have to change this H to true. This is light, heavy, and infantry And I believe that's air. So if you have a heavy and a light in one team, both these would have to be true. Okay, and then same thing for the warrior. I'll replace that, and try to take your time and not fuck it up like I think I just did. Yeah, and not fuck it up, or else it's not gonna work, and you're gonna be sitting there scratching your head, wondering why the hell it's not working. Anywhere I see a warrior, I'm going to replace it with the pander. And anywhere I see jackal, I'm going to replace that with a dingo. That should be everything for the jackal. You don't have to change the display name. All right, hit save. So, save, of course. So that's going to be your light, your heavy, and your barracks. Now that since we've added this, we have to go into initiate common and grab this, copy. I think it matters where you put this. I think it has to become before teams and squads, but after everything else. In the initiate common, and hit file, save. Okay, and then for me, what I like to do, you don't have to do this, but I like it so that wherever I put my guys, that's where they're going to spawn. They're not going to spawn somewhere randomly on the map. So I replace this with that. File, save. So we've made the team templates. We got a guy in the barracks. We got our light vehicle in the light factory. We got our heavy vehicle in the heavy factory. I'm going to go over here to structures. You don't have to do this, but it's just going to make things go a lot faster. C is cost, T is time. So normally it costs 400. Change that to 4. Change that to 3. Change that from 1,000 to 1. Time, 4, save, close. So we got a structure set up, teams, all that. Time to figure out what we forgot. So we got tits. It's great. We're gonna grab these guys. Move them over here. We're gonna grab these guys. Move them over here. Oh, I fucked something up. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Ah, yes, I know what I forgot. Now, open your mission SQM. And all this is going to be in the description. So you don't got to worry about typing it out. But just in case I do, take notice. I'm going to grab this, copy. And I'm going to find the warfare module. I should say logic. And under skill, hit tab all the way until you get to where you need to be. Control V. File, save. All right. And again, time to figure out what we forgot. Perfect. All right. As fucked up as it is, I'm gonna shoot these guys because I'm gonna see who they spawn back as. Oh yeah, that's right, I can't change, because now... I gotta kill myself. There we go. And then now when I respawn, I should be able to vote. You're supposed to pick the vote before you kill your homies. I forget that sometimes, but that's a very good sign, because it looks like they're all spawning back in as the ACR. Alright. Alright, yeah.
Headquarters deployed. Barracks constructed. Light vehicle supply point.
I'm gonna buy units. There's our rifleman. Perfect. There's our dingo. Phenomenal. Wait for him to build the heavy.
Heavy vehicle supply point constructed.
And there's our Pandora. Now, I'm gonna sit, and we're gonna wait to see what. Yep. Very good. Very good. And if you hit M and zoom in, if these guys go blank, you see how, like, this guy's marked as infantry, these guys are marked as metal. If it goes blank and it's just a rectangle, you screwed up somewhere. But as you can see, we got our dingoes, we got our Pandoras, we got our ACR guys. That's fantastic. That's what we want. Now next, I'm just going to go to the insurgent side. And pretty much do the same thing. We're here voting. Wait for him to count.
Velitelství rozloženo.
Come on, bro. You're supposed to be mad at me.
Kasárna. Stavba dokončena.
But that's already a good sign because it shows that they're spawning back in as... It's your nerves. It's your dockies. What the fuck they're called. Now, I didn't set in their structure to spawn everything in quickly, so I don't think they're going to build a heavy unit just yet. But so long as all this is working, that's good enough. That way, when they spawn out and then they pick their sides, I mean, they pick up their soldiers, they'll continue to use their templates. Now, it is a bit of a pain in the ass if you want to change these guys to the Russians, because essentially what you got to do is you got to go in and where it says, come on, where's my mouse? All right, it says teams. You know how you have all this for the West? Oh, you're good. Yeah. You would essentially change all this to the Russians. You could copy and paste it from the template that is given for the normal warfare. But then again, you'd have to go back into factions and change it from this guy to the Russians. I'll show that in another video. I think this is good enough for now. Basic notes to like take away. Yeah. You know, let's say, you know, of course I'm going to want my anti-tank man, right? I would just rifleman AT. All right. I want my medic, right? Preview. Preview will save. Okay. Then I would just go back into the mission. I'd find my medic. Go back to my barracks. Then I go back over here. AT. Same thing. Then I go back to my team. I don't need that anymore. Barracks will save that before I forget to hit save. We'll have our anti-tank and our medic. And then for this is cost, this is time, and this is points. I don't know what the points are. I don't know if that's like a reward for shooting them. You know, I'm not 100% sure. But the cost and the time is the only part that really matters. So we'd hit, you know, copy. File, save. And then when we go back in, oh, boom, it should work. And then it's the same thing with like the constructions. Everything that's constructible is going to be in the structures. So structures, man, over here. So this is, you know, the basics, your service point, aircraft, heavy, all that kind of stuff. And then this is like your MGs, that kind of stuff. If I wanted to replace this with like the Dushka, you know, I could just come over here, actually copy this, you know, the name, not the variable, the name. And then I could just replace, I could either replace this, right? Or I could copy it and then replace it. That way I would keep the original one and have my new one. I'm not going to right now because I'm too lazy to start fucking around with other things. Oh yeah, and since I did not synchronize these guys, once the game starts, these guys are going to like run off. They're going to do something random. So, you know, I was supposed to delete them actually, but I forgot to. But that's how you find out like the names or the variable names, what the hell it's called, of a unit. You spawn them in on the map, and then you go to the mission SQM. Finding the weapon names like for this like L8582, whatever the hell this is, that kind of stuff is a little bit harder. You'll actually have to go through some of the PBOs to figure out the names. But like as you can see, they're now spawning in. Like there's our anti-tank. Our medic's gonna be somewhere around here. But that's basically how you do this stuff. It's not complicated. It just, there's no how-tos or anything. I'm sure there's stuff I forgot. Just screw around with it. You'll figure it out. I will do another later video going a little bit more in depth on like how to set other things up, like how to make proper different teams and that kind of stuff, and like how to force the game to spawn them in, because sometimes the game doesn't like to spawn in certain teams. It'll just duplicate one team and only use it, and I'll show you how to like forcefully make a team and have it spawn in. But for now, I think this is good enough. This should be enough for you to figure out what you're doing. So, you know, thanks for watching.